Thank you, Dave. Well, we all know that you need to have a plan for hurricane season, but does that plan include your pets? This morning, Rebecca Melanson is here from the Louisiana SPCA with some great tips to help you prepare, and she's brought along an adoptable pet who I've made friends with this morning. This is Blossom.
This is Blossom.
And Blossom has so much energy. Tell me more about her. She wants to come visit me for a second. It's fine.
She's about a year old. She's some kind of mutt mixed breed. We have no idea.
Okay.
Your guess is as good as ours.
All right.
She still has all of her puppy energy.
Yes, she does.
She would be great in a training class. You know, she knows sit and she'll do just about anything for treats.
Oh, that's great. She's really, really cute. All right, so you adopt a cute dog like this, and then a hurricane is coming. You have to include your pet in the plan.
You do. No plan is complete without your pet. You know, if you're making a hurricane evacuation plan for your family, you should make one for your pet as well.
All right, and so what kind of things should you consider?
So there are things that you can do before you have to evacuate. A couple of things. You want to make sure that your pup is up to date on their vaccinations, and your cat as well, because no boarding place or veterinarian that does board them out of town or in town will take them without up-to-date vaccinations.
Listen, Blossom is like, we are about to play right now. Forget you and your hurricane plans. Blossom, you have to listen. This is to save you. Hilarious.
You can also get up-to-date ID tags. That way, if worst case scenario they do get lost or you get separated, you're able to be reunited with them. And then it comes time to making a checklist. So with the checklist, you want to make sure you have enough supplies for 5 days. You want to have food and water in an airtight container. You want to have any of their medical records, their adoption papers, whatever kind of paperwork they have, you want to include that in a Ziploc bag. That way, in case it gets wet, it's still okay. You want to make sure they have a collar, an ID tag, a harness, and a leash. And then you also want to make sure that they have a carrier to travel in. And it wants to be big enough to where they can stand up, turn around, and lay down in it.
Okay, all great points. And so some people struggle with hurricane season if they evacuate and can't bring the dog. Is there somewhere you can drop them off?
Yeah, so there is. You have a couple different options. If you evacuate, there are pet boarding facilities, you know, out of town, in town, whatever it is. And if you're not able to take your pup with you, you can also look into places when you do go out of town that way your pet can kind of come with you, whether or not they can stay in a hotel room with you or if they have to go into a boarding facility of their own. If you have trouble evacuating and you're...
This dog is hilarious. Blossom, I hope you get you a home with some kids so you have somebody to play with.
I think she'd be perfect in a home with kids. But if you do need help evacuating, you can contact the city and register for the city assisted evacuation plan.
Okay.
And what happens with that, if you do have pets, New Orleans Humane Law and Rescue will safely evacuate your pets to wherever you go as well.
All right. Thank you for this information, Rebecca. Thank you, Blossom, for being here. For more information and to check in evacuation checklist for your pet, you can head over to WWLTV.com and click on links.